Hello. So we're back now with the Chit-Chat Cafe, and I'm Carolyn Barber from the Good Mental Health Cooperative, and I'm joined today by Sarah Haskett, my colleague and whiz behind all the techie stuff that we can do now in this new world we're in, and Richard Parker, who is one of our facilitators. He's going to be talking about his course today, Rhythms for Wellbeing. So there's a link, isn't there, in the chat, Sarah, just to Richard's course.
Yeah, and I can see a few people are watching. So for those who are watching, say hello, because it can be a bit of a lonely stage up here on a stream. So let me know who you are. Give us a say hello on the comments, and you'll see in the comments, as I say, Richard's workshop link is there, so you can go directly to the page and sign up.
Okay, so Rich has got the honour of hosting the first course in our new Mental Wealth Academy programme that's starting next week. This time next week, in fact. So, Richard, do you want to just tell us a little bit about your background and how you've got involved in something like the rhythms work that you do?
Thanks, Carolyn. Hi everyone. Nice to see you here on this platform. I'm really excited about running this course, Rhythms into Wellness, or with Rhythms into Wellbeing, which is basically kind of, was my experience of getting into drumming and music making and all this kind of thing, not from the perspective of being a musician, but from the perspective of how being engaged in sort of playing music with people or myself or whatever can just make me feel good, bring well-being into my life, connect with people. There's a whole plethora of people that are out there that just love using music and drumming and rhythm as a tool for well-being. It's a massive community when we sort of plug into it. So, my intention here is to, I got into this when I was a lot younger, and straight away I knew the potential for me was about, bringing that quality of well-being into, music participation, rather than the skill of making music. Like you can imagine getting into sort of classic kind of music learning or music courses where it's quite involved. You have to learn notes and be very sort of disciplined to practice. It's nothing like that at all. It's all about, forget the traditional music lesson. It's all about you kind of connecting with what's most important for you at this time. And for a lot of us, that's going to be some form of well-being, some form of wellness or support to our mental health or physical health, or the intention to bring something sort of richer into our lives. And so we're using this tool of drumming and rhythm to enable that, because, there's been so much sort of proven research to show how working with rhythm and drums can stimulate and activate all the sort of good parts of ourselves, creativity, confidence, motivation, the drive to sort of get up and do something with our everyday. So yes, I'm hoping that, what I've got from this experience, I can share with others. And what's great now is that we're sort of finding ways to do this through this online platform. So, in the past, people have had to come to me, whereas now I kind of come to you, which is the real benefit. You can sit back in your own home, in the comfort of your sofa, whatever, and we can do this work together. And hopefully it will be, really, really effective and super easy for you to join in. So thanks for asking this.
Yeah, and I really can feel like your passion for what you do and the enthusiasm and the energy behind it. And I know, like because I came to your sort of the test out of this idea workshop, and it was fabulous. Like the connection that I felt between the people, even though it was Zoom, there was. I know normally when I do drum with a group, you really feel a connection, and I didn't expect to have that in Zoom, but it happened. Somehow happened to a level.
It happens, and I think for me, why it happens, I mean, partly, I make a point of the session, because for me, this sort of work, one of the riches of this work is, like you say, when you do it in a group, not only are you sort of feeling the sort of the power of all making music together, but you're there together meeting people and whatever. And surprisingly, what I think is most important is that we're having a shared experience. And that's what brings people together. So even though we're sort of spread out all around the country or the county or even the world as possible, somehow, because we're all locked in at the same time, exploring this intention to become better versions of ourselves, even if it's in a small way, through this sort of platform, that links us together. And that's powerful in a very simple way. We're learning that through Zoom, and all the sort of online work that I'm doing now, it's amazing. People, their preference is to come to the live. They could come to the recording, they could do all that sort of stuff, but they prefer to come to the live session because there's a richness in doing it together at that time. So I really hear you, Sarah. So thanks for making that point.
Definitely. And just to mention, there's a couple of people who said hello. So Angela, Victoria, and nice to see you guys. And I can see a few other people have joined the stream. So drop us a hello. Let us know you're there.
Okay. So I was going to say, you've said quite a lot about, what people will get from the course, and I the thing I'm not a musician at all, but I love the kind of upliftedness of this kind of activity, actually just joining in and creating music on a quite a basic level, if you like, with other people is so uplifting. I just wondered, could you talk a little bit about how people can just draw? You don't have to have a drum, do you, to join in?
So I'll explain a little bit about the sort of, how this can work. And, firstly, I just want to sort of cover like something that's a really important point, I feel. And I'd like to also share about some of the instruments and things, how we can make this work in our own homes. Because obviously, if you were coming to me, the advantage of that is I'd bring a load of drums and we'd all join in, blah, blah, blah. So how do we make this work at home? And so we've tested this out, and it's very effective. So trust me, this is going to work. So firstly, a lot of people might sort of be coming from that space of like, I often hear this, I'm a bit sort of low in energy, sort of stressed, hence like, getting into rhythm, it just doesn't feel like it's a possible thing for me. So, I'm a believer that we all have a natural sense of rhythm. I hear this so many times, like, I haven't got rhythm, I don't feel like I can connect to that, I'm feeling like stuck in my life, tense. How am I meant to sort of engage in this creative thing when I'm feeling so, shut down or whatever it can be? But this course is designed to sort of embrace that and support that and open us up through this notion that we all have rhythm inside of us. We've been connecting for it for longer than we can imagine. Our whole lives, since we were born, we've been breathing, we've been walking. So these are sort of internal rhythms that are there, that are always accessing in ourselves. There's external rhythms of nature, the seasons, the sun and the moon, all these sorts of things. They're all the day and the night. These are ways that we can connect with natural senses of rhythm, and then we can apply that to how we work on this course. So don't have any fear around rhythm whatsoever. This course is designed for bringing anything you can to that. And how we'll do that tools-wise, I want to share this with you. So 3 simple things that you can bring to this straight off. It doesn't require any effort to make these things. You're bound to have 2 bits of wood in your home. I mean, something like a rolling pin or thereabouts, and a wooden spoon. I mean, who doesn't have one of those? It's pancake day. I mean, do we need that? We don't need those for pancakes, but I think of them, in the same kind of way. We've all got, even if we don't use the rolling pin, it's there.
You don't make pancakes in your house, do you?
No, I don't. I'm not so good with the pancakes thing, but yeah, I have one of these in my drawer. I don't use it, but it's there. It's classic, and it works like a piece of wood. We can tap a rhythm on it. It's simple, it's nice. We all have a jam jar. We can put some rice in it. Easy, that's no problem at all. And then for the sort of main sort of drumming sort of thing, 2 possibilities. We've got a very small upturned bin that works really, really well. Because remember, even though these sound well, the principle here isn't that we've got like masterful instruments to make music on. The principle is that we're going to be connecting with rhythm to explore different intentions about coming into wellness, connecting with ourselves, and moving forwards in the world. So we can do that on anything. Yeah, so that's the point. And actually, you know, there's been various settings where I need to drum somewhere and I haven't had a drum because it's been spontaneous, and a bin or a shoebox has got me out of that problem many a time. And I assure you, they sound pretty awesome, surprisingly, when you just kind of tap out a rhythm. You know, and it works. So it sounds good enough to me. So I have a whole part of the session, the first session, just getting into finding some instruments in our home. You might already have a drum. I mean, we've got all sorts of drums here that I'm going to be sort of displaying, a simple hand drum, or one which is a little bit bigger. Something like this. You might have something lying around. You might have a friend who's got one. So you can just pick something up as you feel. You know, you might be able to borrow something from the course, for the course. But yeah, we'll make it work, whatever you've got. You know, so, you know, really the importance of this session is that we're going to be connecting with ourselves and finding our sense of rhythm, finding the rhythms that are within us anyway. And then simply using drumming and shakers and wooden blocks as a tool for bringing well-being to ourselves and essentially change in our lives. So, and the final element as well, we'll also be using, looking at some various different rhythms from around the world as a way of sort of somehow connecting outside of ourselves to the possibilities of rhythm. So we'll be looking at some African rhythms, some Sarah, I know Sarah will like this, we're going to look at a Middle Eastern rhythm, we're going to look at a South American rhythm, and we're going to look at a Japanese rhythm as part of the course. Just a simple, like, oh, there's something we can connect from that culture, the energy of it. If you think sort of Latin American rhythms, it's all going to be sort of salsa-y, hippie sort of style movements. And yeah, so not that we're going to be dancing, but we're just going to feel the energy of that music by playing with it, which if you think of like a kind of a carnival energy, it's uplifting, it makes us feel good. So we're going to be sort of tapping into that sort of as a part of the course. So I hope that sort of, you know, alleviates anything.
That sounds cool. I don't think I'm familiar with any Japanese rhythms.
Yeah, so think of like taiko drumming. So, you know, I'm gonna be creating a digital platform of a taiko sort of drum experience, which you're going to be able to join in with your own instruments, and that'll feel pretty powerful. If you think taiko drumming, it's about power. So we're going to be building some power and some confidence with that one. So yeah, you got to
nice. Yeah. And Terry on the stream, she says that she's getting the basics of how people can engage with drums or what they have around the house. So yeah, that's great. I think she said she had a little bit of trouble hearing some of what we were saying, but everything seems okay this end. So I'm not sure what that is, Terry, but I'm glad you got the gist of it.
I mean, she might have been also referring to the sound of the drums, what they sounded like through the system, and actually it's a good point sort of saying that. So how we'll organize the sound around this so that it just feels good is, you know, most of you guys will be on mute while we're doing the music, so that you're just playing with me and yourselves, and I'll be also layering in some digital sort of support to that. So and we've organized the tech here so that there'll be no distortion of sound. It will all sound really awesome. And the first session will sort of cover all of that and take care of how we can support you with your sounds. So you've got like headphones or speakers or things, or even just using it on your computer, how we can just make the most of that. So we're going to cover that on the first go. So anyone who's a little bit unsure of the tech, you know, I'm hot on that. So we'll make sure you feel good what you've got to do.
Oh, brilliant. So there's Charlie there saying he loves Japanese drumming. Loads in Japan.
Great. So we're going to do African drumming, Japanese, Japanese drumming, like so the Middle Eastern drumming, and a little bit of South American drumming, just to sort of fill out the course. So it's about drumming for ourselves, drumming for change, to bring ourselves into change, and drumming with the world, like connecting with world rhythms. So these are the three things we'll be doing on that course: ourselves, change, and the world. So hopefully
that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Richard. So I feel quite excited about it. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to join in the whole course, but I might dip in and see if I can join in a bit. But yeah, I suppose it sounds fantastic. And so the course is starting at 7 o'clock next Tuesday. I think, is that the 23rd or 24th? I think, or 24th of February. 23rd. So if anyone wants to sign up, the link is in the comments. So do sign up for the course. Have a look at some of the other amazing courses that we've got coming up. So it's very exciting. Okay, so thank you so much, Richard. It's been really great hearing about it all.
Yeah, I'm really excited to
and
run this course. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, and it's going to be great. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting people in person when we get there. And we're going to be dialoguing at certain points in the session, so we'll get to know each other as we do the course as well. So there'll be a sense of community as we go through it. So
yeah, and also when you sign up to any of the courses on the for the Mental Wealth Academy, I forgot the words then. But when you sign up for any of the courses in the Mental Wealth Academy, you get an invitation to our forum page as well. So you can always take a little video of yourself drumming if you want to share, how you sound when at the points when, because although within the Zoom, I know Rich has got this great setup where, you'll get the feel of what's going on. But you might want to share how you sound to others. You can upload that into the forum if you wanted to.
It'd be great to have a place to upload that. And there'll be little moments when you can, we'll invite a few people to show off on the live session as well. We'll see if anyone's got a little bit of courage to step into that. But we'll see how that goes.
Nice. Brilliant.
Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. And yeah, see you next Tuesday.
See you then.
Too late.